Guys, hey guys, I'm going to work this problem from the football game today that y'all asked me to work. It definitely has more algebraic steps than a lot of the other problems. I told you before, it's kind of like Jeopardy. You were given the distance. The distance is 30. That part's over. You are missing one of the coordinates. You're missing your y coordinate. So you're going to set up distance formula, but you're going to have to work backwards throughout the formula, throughout the problem with distance formula. So we know the answer to the distance formula is 30. So we start there. We know that in distance formula, we've got our deltas in the parentheses. These get squared, and we've got a plus there because it's like Pythagorean theorem. From here, we can do the x's first or the y's first. I'll go ahead and circle my x's and underline my y's. I'm going to do x minus x, so 20 minus 2. And then y minus y. So y minus negative 7. Okay, now I can clean up what's underneath the radical. It's called the radicand. Or I can start by getting rid of that square root. To get rid of a square root, you do the opposite of square rooting. You square both sides. So 30 squared is 900. And now my square root is gone. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit if you're okay with that. 20 minus 2. So 18 squared plus y minus negative 7. That's y plus 7. Cool. So we can go to our calculator and do 18 squared. So 900 equals 324 plus y plus 7 squared. I'm going to move this guy over right here. He's positive, so to move him I need to make that number negative. So 900 minus 324, 576. Remember, when you're solving for a variable, you're like working from the outside in. This is my biggest concern right here. I need to get rid of that squared. The way to get rid of that is square root both sides. Here's where two answers come. This is where you get two answers. It's right here at this step. The square root of 576 is not just 24. It's actually plus or minus 24. Equals, okay, what's left over here? These cancel. I now have two problems. I have y plus 7 equals 24, and I have y plus 7 equals negative 24. So I can subtract 7 from both sides. Y equals 17, and do the same thing with your second equation. So this problem has two solutions, y equals 17 and y equals negative 31. So at this point, you can definitely just turn the video off. But if you want to see one more way to do it, if that algebra is just way too crazy for you, let me show you how to do it more geometrically on the coordinate plane. So I plotted my point that they gave us to negative 7. And then I plotted 20, comma, y. I don't know where y is. Y is somewhere along here. I don't know where y is. I do know that the distance is 30, though. So really, I know that somewhere this is going to land. This segment is going to be 30. And actually, if I turn this into a right triangle, I know some things about it. I know that this is at 2, and this is at 20. So I actually know my delta x that came up in the problem. It's 18. Can I find what this is here? I'm going to call it A. Can I find A? Well, yeah, I can just use Pythagorean theorem. 30 squared minus 18 squared. Square root that. So square root of 30 squared minus 18 squared. And I get 24. So this is 24. Now remember, when we are right here, we're at -7. So if I travel 24, so if I'm at -7 and I travel 24, oh, that's one of my answers. I end at 17. 17 is one of the answers. Then remember, you don't have to go 30 this way. You could go 30 this way, drawing not to scale, drawing not to scale. Sorry about that. You could have gone 30 and met up with your line here. Well, wait, this is still 18. This is still 30. Oh my goodness, this is going to be 24 again, but it's going to be going in the negative direction. So if I'm at -7, this is where I am, I'm at -7, and I go down 24, well, look at that, -7 minus 24, then I land, you see that? It's hard to see, it's not zooming in. It says -31. So there we go, way, way down at -31. So I just solved it using Pythagorean theorem instead of doing all of that. You choose.